I'm so glad to welcome all of you into our home to celebrate the Lord's Day. This is a new thing, so I know you'll excuse me if everything isn't quite perfect. We've all celebrated the Sabbath for so long, and the men are having such a hard time getting straight what we should do. Of course, making a lot of work out of something that should be simple. We celebrate the Sabbath Friday to Saturday night, as always, and the Lord's Day on the first day of the week, the day He rose.
Amen. Well, the men at my village are confused. They want to call the Lord's Day the Sabbath. What will we call Friday night and Saturday? The first thing they start making rules.
Yes. So which is today, Sabbath or Lord's Day?
Today is the Lord's Day, but we are going to combine it with the Sabbath because we're here to recall the old and look to the new.
And celebrate both.
We have two purposes then. The first is to celebrate together, but also there is another reason. As I'm sure you've noticed, there are some strange stories going around. Those of us who were here, well, from the beginning, we know what happened. We heard, we saw, we know. But some of the stories I've heard, well, sometimes it's hard to believe that they're talking about the same man, Jesus, we all knew. Well, it's a little hard to recognize ourselves.
Yes, you'll never believe what I heard them say about you the other day.
Oh, I know. I've heard. And someone thinks that you're my sister.
And they have me confused with the woman who went to the dinner at Simon's house and watched the Lord's feet with her tears and dried them in her hair. Wasn't that you?
No, and it wasn't Mary either.
What was her name?
Mary.
Of course, what else? You'd think our mothers didn't know any other names.
And so we thought Mary and Martha and Mary and, well, Mary.
So you think there are enough Marys in the room? Thank God for you, Rachel.
We'll try not to get confused. Anyway, we were all thinking that if we got together and we told our stories to each other and wrote them down, then there would be a record of how it really happened. Because I think the day will come very soon when our voices will not be so welcome, and our stories may be forgotten or told from someone else's point of view. So we will welcome the Sabbath and celebrate the Lord's Day by telling our stories. As you see, we have a very special guest with us today. I know you all have seen the Lord's mother, Mary of Nazareth, but perhaps not spoken with her until today.
I didn't recognize you without the blue robe.
Someone gave me that. I never wear it. It's just dirt.
So today, Mary will begin with the Sabbath prayer. Mary, we are so honored.
Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has made us holy through his commandments and commanded us to kindle the Sabbath light. It is good to welcome the Sabbath and the Lord's Day in your house, Mary. And it was such a good idea to invite all of our women disciples to share it with us. You know, it is becoming such a public event these days. I enjoy it when James and Peter are there with us, but when the men gather, it isn't so easy to talk. Sometimes I think I'll just scream if I can't find someone just to talk to.
You're right. It's good to have someone to talk to. Someone who understands, who was really there. And you were, right from the beginning.
Yes, in a way, but really, what was the beginning?
Why, Bethlehem, of course. The stable, the angels caroling, Hosanna in the highest.
Oh, that beginning. Humble kings, exalted shepherds, a stable by starlight, rumors of angels, angels singing Hosanna. It was the sound of joy.
It always sounds so wonderful.
Well, it was. It was also very uncomfortable like life. Well, that was one beginning. My oldest son always said that the real beginning was when Adam and Eve got bored.
Did y'all talk about the old stories, the prophets and the kings?
Oh, yes. yes, he loved to teach. And I, of course, was his first pupil. Sons, why do we want them so much they can be so aggravated?
You don't really mean that.
Oh, yes. You know, for so long you long for them, and then you have them. Not an easy process, as I dare say you all know. Then, for the first 12 years of their lives, they think you're the sun and the moon, the most important person in the entire universe. Who do they come to when the world is confusing and demand an explanation? Mother. Who do they come to when they're hurt, crying? Mother. Who comforts their fears and holds them close, promising them that everything will be all right. And you know, you hold them, and you promise, and you almost believe it yourself that you can protect them and keep them safe. You have to, or else you wouldn't have the courage to send them out the door into the world where anything can happen. Then one day, they are 13 and a man, and suddenly you're just a woman and a mother, relegated to the corners of their lives.
It never seemed to me that you spent much time in corners.
Well, perhaps not. So he taught me, and I listened. Not a bad student, all things considered, for a woman.